Hi, David, F&B Railroad, here to bring you layout expansion update number 2. In this one you will see me doing fascia, you will see me doing sub road bed, and you'll see me doing the risers for the sub road bed. So not to make this video any longer, let's get into it. So now that my bench work's all built, I gotta put my fascia on all 4 sides of the bench work. Before I can really do it, much more of anything, I gotta put fascia at least on this side, on the side of the little table that goes in between this bench and the other bench, and same there, so then I can start cutting my track base and putting it in and putting the risers under it and everything. But in order to put my fascia on, which is here, and it's tall so that I can cut it down and whatnot, it's going to go up on here, but it won't sit flat because the heads of the carriage bolts stick out. So I have found an easy way to remedy this problem, and if I take some chalk and rub it on the center of the carriage bolt, and then take my hardboard and place it where I want it on an angle and lean it up into it. The chalk leaves me a white dot, and with that white dot I can drill my holes for my fascia. Now you can see with the holes drilled, I use a little bit bigger hole in case I'm not perfectly on target, but at least now it gets around my carriage bolts and it goes up flat, and now I can drill holes and screw it to the bench work. I use flathead screws so I can mate these pieces together. So let me do that and we'll show you that when I'm done. So there it is, guys. Fascia put on, screws put in place, flush mount, and now I'll do the same to the little 3-foot section and the other table. So I can put these all together and then drill holes and actually bolt them all together. Okay guys, here's the shaky cam, but you can see got the 2 buttered up on that side, 2 buttered up on that side, and then as we pull back we got the 2 buttered up on those 2 tables. So now with this done, I can start working on my track support boards that'll hold the track in place, which I can elevate up and down for my elevations. Okay, this is the plywood base for my road bed, and I have it up here, and as you can see this is cut out and we got some of the framing showing, so I got to cut this piece out here before I go on. And the other thing is I've marked out, this is my 0, this is my 1/2 inch, this is my 1 inch, up here it'll be 1.5 inches, and right where this 1/2 inch is, there's nothing, so I got to run a stringer across here so I can put at least another piece of 1/2 inch plywood underneath to elevate this so we start getting our incline. And since I cut it out last, I've had it up here, and I've cut out a couple more notches for bracing to come up through for the second level as well. So now I'm going to take this off and cut this out. Now we'll see. I have clearance to run whatever I need to down into here, landscaping and whatnot. I also ended up cutting this out. This used to come across and over, but I decided to cut it out so I can set my building down in lower. So that was just that decision there. And I have had this on already just to get an idea of what I had to do. So that's that. I need to put in my brace now, and we'll go from there. Now I have a piece of 1/2 inch plywood and slide it under here. And that's where my 1/2 inch is going to go. I have a piece of pine that I cut 1.5 inches. It's going to go up under here. I have a couple of pieces. Actually, I think I'll use these of 1/2 inch that I'm going to put under here. So I can screw them down into that. So that's going to be my 1/2 inch there, my 1.5 inches there, my 1/2 inch there, my 0 there. I'll be able to put a block under here to support this point, and I'll probably put a block under here on this side to support this point, especially seeing I'm cutting this out. This side I got the leg in the way, so I'm really not going to be able to support this. So hopefully this is well enough supported. And the other thing I was thinking of doing is doing 1/2 inch underneath this. A piece there, a piece there, and then doing a cleat underneath the roadbed here to support this, and bringing that up to a 1/2 inch. Yeah, I don't think I'll do that one there. I think I'll just do the 1/2 inch there and a 1/2 inch rise there, and we'll have to put something under here to support this. So that's what I'm up to. Let me go cut some wood and we'll get these pieces put in place. So this is why I don't throw scraps away. All these small little pieces that would have been thrown out are going to end up being my bracing. So what I need to do now is figure out where to put them. So this corner here is going to get braced up. So we'll probably put this right in here. And then my little 1/2 inch pieces that I have, and I end up putting one here, one over here. And I like to keep my braces, if I can, under my track. So my track runs center line of this, my track runs center line of this curve and around and out through here. So I got 2 pieces there that's marked out. We know we're not doing anything there. I got a piece of 1/2 inch under here that I need to mark. And then I have this piece here that I've cut. It's going to reinforce this here for my rise at 1.5 inches. So if we take this and we run this around, I'm not quite 18 there, but I'm 18 on the outer track. So this, I may have to cut this and just do this one and put in another brace in here so that I can drop this to where it's 18 inches. Because that's 18 there. And 18 would be about here. So this should be 1 inch at this point and 1 inch at that point. So I'll have to do the cutting and do that. And I'll get back to you when I've got this screwed down a little bit better and braced up. Okay, with my homasote put down, screwed into place over here, I gotta cut a hole in here for my trains to run through. So I'm going to be using Unitrack to span from table 1 to table 2, and I got an expander here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to end up setting my expander part way out and actually bridging the gap with the expander. So this way, when time comes, not that you can see it with my hand in the way, but I'll be able to collapse the expander on both sides like this, and then when it comes time to put the tracks back together, I can put the expander back in and expand it out and latch it to the other side. This way I'm bridging my gap and having a nice, neat, uniform piece to do so. Now here we are on the shaky cam, and you can see the clearance I have from the top of that reefer to the underside of the plywood and whatnot. So yes, there is plenty of clearance for my trains to come through and overlap one another. So that'll continue on. Next thing I gotta do is I gotta put this board in here, but before I can do that, I gotta continue on with this here so that when I come across here, which is based off of this height, I can get that board at the right height too and have everything work out. So this is all screwed in, anchored, glued. Now I'm gonna put my homasote on top. That should do it. So that's what I do to hold down my homasote to my plywood, and I find that makes a real good base for laying my track on top of. That's how I did my first layout, and obviously this is how I'm expanding it. So you're still here. I guess that wasn't too boring then, but you did see how I positioned my plywood, had it all cut out, and then screwed it down and put in risers to give me some elevation to get to the heights that I wanted for my layout. You also see that it is quite a bit of work to figure out where to put my bracing to make sure I'm not in the way of my switch motors and nothing's in the way of where I want to cut out for bridges. So thank you for watching and keep on modeling.